Okay folks, I'm going to tell you a wee pattern called the Flying Doctor, wee salmon fly. Now, this is going to be a slight variation of it. The hook in the vise is a size 10 Partridge Patriot double. The thread that I'm going to use to start off tying the fly is a uni thread 80 in white. So simply going to come in, get the thread started, a few mil behind the eye of the hook, just knock on a few turns of thread and remove the waist tag of the thread. Now the tag on the fly is going to be an oval silver tinsel in small, and I'm just going to come in a couple of turns to catch it in underneath, bring the oval silver tinsel underneath the hook, and then I'm just going to run the thread down, tying this in. Now I'm just going to bring my thread down until I'm in line with the point of the hook, and then I'm going to take 4 turns of the oval silver tinsel, heading down the hook, and on the 5th turn bring it up, and in between the 2 hooks, round with a turn to hold, and a couple of turns to secure. That locks in your tag. And then I'm going to come in and just trim away the excess of the oval silver tinsel. Now the tail on the fly is going to be a red bucktail. That's it here. Now I've just already cut a small pinch off from the tail. I'm going to measure this up. I'm going to have this about a length and a half of the hook over the back. A couple of nice tight turns just to tie in the bucktail. And then I'm going to come in, I'm just going to trim away the excess and a tapered cut of the bucktail. Just to give me a tapered cut heading up. There's a wing at the top. Now I'm just going to run my thread on up. Nice and tight, tying these in, but you want to try and keep the body as smooth as possible here. So I'm just going to run it on up. Tying this in. And then I'm going to whip finish off the white thread. So just come in with your whip finishing tool, whip finish this off, pull the thread tight, trim away the excess. Now the first hot butt at the back is going to be a Glow Bright Floss number 10, this nice yellow. So I'm just going to come in and just tie the Glow Bright Floss on, a couple of turns, catch it in, and remove the waist tag. Now we bring this floss down, tied up against the tail, and back up again to there. And then I'm going to come in with my whip finishing tool, just doing a 2-turn whip finish. Right, that's plenty. Come in, remove the excess. Next part of the hot butt is a Glow Bright Floss number 3 in red. Same again, just going to come in, a couple of turns, remove the waist tag, just bring the red down to meet the yellow, and back up again. Just come in with my whip finishing tool again, and just doing a 2-turn whip finish. Trim away the Glow Bright Floss. Now, you gotta protect this, you gotta protect them, and to do that, I'm going to use UV resin. Just a wee tiny drop of UV resin onto the Glow Bright Floss. Not too much. Don't need too much yet stuff. Just a wee tiny drop. Then I'm just going to come in and just spread it around the 2 floss, Glow Bright Floss underneath as well. Gotta protect them all. Just makes the fly last a wee bit longer if you do this. Now if you don't have UV resin, you can just super glue. Just going to come in with the torch, just set the resin. So like I was saying there, if you don't have UV resin, just use super glue. And then varnish it and let it dry. So that'll be enough of that. So I'm just going to come in to finish off. The thread I'm going to use is a Unifloss 801 red. So I'm just going to come in, get the thread started, remove the waist tag. Now the rib on the fly, I'm going to use a silver wire, and this is just a silver wire and small. I'm going to attach this in underneath, much like I did with the oval silver tinsel. Bring it underneath the hook, and then just run my thread down to meet the red tag at the back. The body is a silver holographic. This is just a Vineyard silver holographic that I'm using in large. And take a length of that. Just going to offer this up to the hook. Just bring it in the length of the body. And then just run your thread up, tying this in. Then we can bring round our silver holographic tinsel. And one nice tight turn onto the back. And then one turn slightly overlapping the other to create your body. To there, follow it across with your thread, one turn to hold. A couple of turns will secure that in. Then come in and trim away the excess of the holographic tinsel. Then we can bring up our rib. Looking 4 turns of the silver wire on the body. To there, bring your wire up, follow it across with your thread. One turn to hold. Excuse me, a couple of turns will secure that in. Then just bend and break away the wire. Now I'm just going to bring my thread on up to the eye and back down again. So the first part of the wing is going to be grey squirrel tail. So just going to come in, don't want too much, just want a small pinch, plenty. Just come in and trim it away from the skin, just take away all the rubbish from the bottom. Then I'm just going to pop this into the hair stacker tips first. I'm going to give this a rattle on the arm of the chair. Just get the tips lined up. All the tips have lined up, so I'm just going to take it out of the hair stacker. And then offer it up to the hook now. Much like the tail, the length of the wing is up to yourself. You can have it long or you can have it short now. I'm going to have the white tips just coming in to the tail at the back. Now I'm going to hold it here with my finger and thumb. I'm going to come in and get it measured. Trim the excess of the squirrel away over the bin. Just a wee favour there. Then I want to get the squirrel as tight as to the shank of the hook as possible. We'll come around with a pinching loop. Then another. Then I want nice tight turns of thread onto the squirrel tail. Now, see at this stage, just come in, keep your thread tight. You can either put some varnish on the thread, or in this case I'm putting on a wee lick of super glue, just to bring it down over the cut ends of the squirrel. The squirrel has a tendency to pull out, so just bring it down over the cut ends of the squirrel and back up. Come in, you can wipe away any excess. Now, over the top of the grey squirrel, excuse me, is a golden pheasant tippet. So I'm just going to come in and take away what I don't need. Then all I do is just roll this with my finger and thumb. Then I'm going to offer it up. Now I just want it slightly over halfway into the wing. Just going to come down, hold it onto the shank of the hook, come around with a pinching loop. There, just loose turns, just to get it positioned. Just to make sure it's sitting right for you. And on top. Okay, I'm happy enough with that, so just going to tighten up now with the turns. And I'm going to come in with a nice pair of sharp scissors. Just trim the excess of the golden pheasant tippets away. Now I'm going to bring my thread to the front and bring my thread up over the cut ends from the front. Just want to try and keep the front as level as possible. Now there's 2 hackles at the front, one yellow and one red. Now I'm going to tie it in with the red one in front. So just pair them up, come in, stroke the fibres back to reveal the tips. Now offer this up to the hook, just come around with a couple of turns to tie them in. Now I'm not going to fold the tips back, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to trim them away. So just take your time here, just come in, trim the tips away, and then just secure in the hackle tips, and then just hold them, stroke them up. Then you're just looking one turn in front of the other. Just in much way the same way you would do if you're winding one hackle round. It's just the same principle when you're winding two. Right. That's going to be enough for me there, so I'm just going to check. That's plenty. I'm going to come around with the thread. You want your thread turned right tight in to the two stems, nice and tight. Nice tight turns. And come in with a nice pair of sharp scissors and trim away the two hackles. Now, anything that's going forward, just come in and stroke them back. Bring your thread to the eye and just build your head up. This stage, just a nice bright head on the fly. And if you want to brighten the head up even more, now I'll just finish this off. So that's the wee fly finished. But if you would like to brighten the head up a bit more, you can come in with your Glow Bright floss number 3. I set it here just to show you. Come in with your Glow Bright floss, just tie it up over the head. Come in, remove the waist tag, bring the floss up under the head. Now just bring it up and then just simply finish it off. That's all you gotta do. Pull the floss nice and tight, come in, trim away the excess. Now at this stage, we'll just come in and we'll just stick on a coat of super glue just to seal the head up. So we coat of super glue just on the head, right the whole way right round. And there you go, folks. So that's just a variant of the Flying Doctor. All that I've changed out is the tail at the back. The tail at the back is usually just fibres off a golden pheasant breast feather dyed red. So look, give the fly a wee go, and hopefully I can catch you a few fish.